Hello, my name is Lee. I'm the conflict resolver, and I'm here to help you have a more peaceful life. For the past few weeks, I've been talking about questions because questions are incredibly powerful. Whether you're trying to learn something new, understand someone else's perspective, or build a relationship, questions are the way to do it. Today, we'll talk about how to use questions for relationship building. Please like and subscribe. If you have a question you'd like me to answer in a future video, leave a comment below. You can also email comments and questions to advice@leechandler.com. Today, I want to talk about using questions to build strong relationships, because strong relationships are the best prevention when it comes to serious conflict. You've probably heard about the experiment where they put strangers together and had them take turns asking each other personal questions. The idea was that by gradually revealing more personal information and finding what they had in common, the strangers would quickly build intimacy and closeness. And it worked. The story is that you can fall in love with a total stranger using these questions. I'll put a link in the description if you want to give it a try. But the idea behind the experiment is what's really interesting. Close relationships build when people disclose more about themselves over time. The disclosure escalates from less personal to more personal, with both parties revealing more at about the same rate. The questions are a structured, quick way to do what we do naturally in our close relationships, or what we don't do. How many of you have had relationships that never seem to progress beyond superficial conversation, or relationships that get weird when one person reveals too much too soon? If you want to use this type of question to deepen your relationship, start with the fun ones. The first set of questions in the experiment is easy and mostly lighthearted. For example, the first question is, given a choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest? And what would constitute a perfect day for you? And would you like to be famous? And if so, for what? Questions like these aren't too personal. They make it easy for the person answering to decide how open to be, while still providing an opportunity to get to know each other on a deeper level. Having a mental list of questions like this and using them in all of your conversations will help you connect better with everyone in your life and give you a level of understanding that will definitely help you avoid and resolve conflicts. The middle questions in the experiment are more personal and start to require more vulnerability. For example, there are questions about your best and worst memories, about whether you're close with your family, and what friendship means to you. These aren't questions to ask someone you just met, and they aren't questions to ask at work. But if you want to strengthen a close relationship or a friendship with potential to become closer, questions like these are a great way to do it. And then there's the third set of questions in the experiment, which is the most interesting. In addition to some really personal ones, like when did you last cry in front of another person and why, there are a lot of questions that require interaction between the participants. For example, one question asks you to tell your questioning partner what you like about them, and another asks you to share a personal problem and ask them for advice on how to handle it. If you have a close relationship that you've been neglecting, these are the questions for you to use, because they highlight and strengthen your connection. Try asking that person for advice or giving some unsolicited feedback about what's amazing about them. There's a link in the comments to the questions from the experiment. And I also linked to a couple of good question books that will give you some inspiration for your next conversation.